I'm Brandy, and this is Fantastic Fiber Friday. I want to go over a little bit about what I blogged about earlier this week. I was talking about Jacob sheep and Jacob wool and the origin of Jacob sheep, which I still haven't figured out. If you want to read a little more on that, you can go back to Monday's blog and check it out. I also wanted to show the spinning I had done from the roll logs I had made from the Jacob fiber that I had. And so I took those roll logs and I spun them up on my CD spindle here. And I absolutely just love how this fiber spins up. And I do have a previous project I can show you. I had a friend give me some Jacob roving before, and I had spun it up and made this lovely little headband. And you can see the different colors of the gray and black and white in that. I wanted to show you something that was multicolored in Jacob fleece instead of just the brown that I had it left in fleece. I had heard a terrible rumor this week, and I had to jump on Ravelry to see if it was true that one of my favorite local yarn shops, Fiberphilia, was going out of business. And I jumped onto the internet and jumped into the Ravelry group and found out they were sort of going out of business, but not really. They're closing up the shop in Orono to reopen in Bangor. It'll be about a 15-minute longer drive, but they're still there and they're still available, which is I'm very thankful for. And of course, they're having a moving sale, so I went down to check that out yesterday, and here's some of what I got. I got some beautiful Cascade 2020 Sport, and all my skeins are falling apart here, and a gorgeous heathered purple colorway. And I picked up something I had never tried before, highlighter tape, which I highly recommend. I'll show you more on that later. And some size 10 double pointed needles, which I realized I actually didn't have in my stash. So that's what is new this week. They are moving, and I'm just glad they're still going to be around. I had heart palpitations when I found out that they might be closing up shop. In spinning this week, I did do some spinning this week, not as much as I usually do. This is the Peach Nebula colorway of my new fiber bats that I put in the Etsy and Art Fire store, and I really do love this color. This one I might not actually sell, I might actually keep the yarn, and that's just a single of it. I'll do 2 more bobbins and ply them together as a 3-ply. This makes a lovely 3-ply. In some knitting this week, I needed to feel like I accomplished something because I have a bunch of bigger things on the needles, and so I decided to go ahead and make up a little headband from some hand spun I had. I love those short little instant gratification projects there, and that was just some bulky tinsel I was playing with. I spun it bulky and then plied it with some thread, and I think it's turned out to be a really cute Eastery colored headband. Now back to the highlighter tape. This stuff is amazing. I had thought I would try it, and I had always used Postit Notes. I couldn't think of it for a second. Postit Notes to mark the places on my pattern, and this works really well because you can take it off. Oh, let's see if I can do this without setting it down so everybody can see. And move it around to wherever you need it, and it will re-stick. And I've restuck that probably about 40 times so far, and it's still wanting to stick. So good stuff. If you can find it and get your fingers on it, give it a try. Another thing I have on my needles at this point is the Romulan, I gotta remember, the Romulan Cloak one skein shawl. My friend Michelle Miller, also known as the Fickle Knitter on Ravelry, had sent me 2 free patterns for a contest I had won in her group. I honestly didn't even know I was part of the contest. And this is some more yarn I had picked up at Fiberphilia when I was there. This is Fundy Footsie by Dunroving Farms. They're out of Charlotte, Maine, and I just love this color. And this is the beginning of the Romulan Cloak one skein shawl. I have Chart A done, and the first 2 to 3 repeats of Chart B I've got started here. And I really love the pattern. I think it'll be absolutely lovely in this purple and orange. And I wanted to thank Michelle for gifting me with those free patterns and let her know that her jam is on its way. One more thing before I'm checking my little list here because I did make a list. I do have a tip of the week this week. And my tip of the week is, and I learned kind of the hard way, and it's a little bit silly but actually serious. I decided a couple weeks ago it was okay, and that I had been spinning and plying for so long I could ply in the dark. Well, it didn't quite work exactly how I had hoped. My Lazy Kate wasn't being easy letting the threads out, and it just didn't quite work out. My husband looked at me before I started and told me I couldn't ply in the dark, and he was right. I couldn't ply in the dark. So whatever you do, don't ply in the dark. And I think that is everything for this week for Fantastic Fiber Friday. I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter holiday, and I'll see you next week.